Hey there, welcome to Oh Happy Plants. Today we're going to cover mechanical damage on plants, or why to keep the robot invasion away from your cute baby sprouts. Yeah, we're being ridiculous right now, but I've seen so many people asking questions about this kind of damage on their plants, worried that they've done something wrong and their plant is dying. Today you'll learn to recognize what mechanical damage looks like so you won't freak out when you see it. Hang on. You might be asking yourself, what the heck is mechanical damage? Are robots coming for my plants? But good news, friend, as far as I've seen, we are a century away from a robot invasion at least. The kind of mechanical damage I'm talking about is the kind that's caused by a leaf being crunched, smushed, bent, broken, rubbed, squished, harassed, or messed with by some jerk who doesn't respect plants. Mechanical damage. Maybe your cat's an asshole, or maybe it was your kids. Yeah, plenty of things happen right under your nose. This Dracaena, for example, was shoved against a wall and this leaf's main vein broke, which caused this discoloration and drying out pattern on the leaf. Now, just a quick note, I'm a member of a couple of houseplant clubs on Facebook, and I started noticing folks posting photos of plants with mechanical damage who were really concerned that they had done something to mess up their baby plant. And some of these people were thinking that this was pest damage, like little chomps from insects, or underwatering, or something like that. And so after noticing all of these new plant parents worrying about these little bumps and bruises, it seemed time to make a video with a lot of photos of mechanical damage, and one clear message: don't worry. Your plants are going to be fine. Now, this damage isn't pretty, but your plant will grow new leaves, and then you can take the damaged leaves off if you want. I only prune my leaves when there's a lot of damage. Slight imperfections like this Sansevieria here with the split in the leaf, they don't really bother me much. I mean, they're living things, and I'm sure as heck not going to be perfect either, so I'm not looking for them to be perfect. And this little guy is going to continue to grow just fine. This split was on this plant before I got him, and potentially before he was even shipped to the shop where I got him. So this is just one of those things that a lot of plants are treated a little bit roughly during transit, and sometimes they just come in with stuff like this. The new baby leaf in front there has no damage at all, so if I wanted to, I could take this leaf off in the future. I probably won't because I don't find it offensive, but a person could do that. So mechanical damage is just leaf damage caused by mechanical means. Often it's caused by shipping. Plants are grown in large fields, then shoved unceremoniously onto a truck. Leaves are scraped, bent, and often trapped between pots, leading to all sorts of unsightly damage. And then leaves can further be damaged during unloading and stocking in the store. This orchid's leaf was smashed between pots in transport, so he'll have that scar for life, but he still blooms for me like crazy. And then this gold dust aglaonema is right in a walkway that many people use frequently, so it's getting brushed against often. The friction causes this kind of leaf damage on the tip there, and it's not an ideal spot for an aglo, but he really likes the light in this spot, and only a few leaves stick out like this, so I'm going to leave him there. Checking for friction damage of your plants is a great idea, especially with aglos and other thin-leafed plants like this. And if you notice damage that looks like this, especially like entire leaves that are shredded, that look like really jaggedly shredded, it's probably this kind of friction, just people walking past it and brushing up against it too often. I've seen leaves get entirely shredded, like the whole leaf is ripped in half from being brushed against all day long. And people don't even notice. A lot of people don't really have plants on their radar, and so they walk around and they might brush into a plant, but they don't think it's going to cause any harm. And so that's a great reason to move the plant to a better location if it's really doing damage. This guy wasn't so bad. I've definitely moved other plants, though. So this little guy, his wound is my fault. I have to own this one. I brought him home and I set him on the ground. He was in a crate with some other plants, and I didn't think my cat could get to him, but lo and behold, I turned my back for 5 minutes and she's already trying to bite him. And I don't really think she was going to eat this guy, but she was certainly trying to get a taste. This was the extent of the damage, but again, it's not going away. That little chomp mark will be there forever. And my cat is fine, in case you were wondering. I mean, you can't cure stupid, but she didn't eat enough of this guy to cause any harm to her at all. So this is the only issue with that little incident. This guy is a Ficus lyrata, or fiddle-leaf fig, and this is a different sort of mechanical damage. So when these guys are shoved against a wall, their leaves can't unfurl all the way. They need a lot of space. So when a brand new leaf comes out, it's really soft, similar to how a butterfly comes out of its cocoon with soft wings. And if a butterfly can't stretch its wings out, then they harden in a shape that doesn't allow them to fly. And so similar to that, this fiddle-leaf fig, if the leaves get a little bit older while they're still smushed up against a wall, they're never going to flatten out, and they'll just harden that way. And they'll stay that shape for the life of the leaf. So it's very important that your lyrata have space to grow, because otherwise you're going to get a lot of misshapen leaves like this. And again, this is one of those things that it doesn't necessarily bother me. If a tree had more than like a quarter of its leaves like this, I wouldn't want to remove them because that's too much of the tree. But if it was just one or two, I might go ahead and take them off. This little guy was definitely rubbed wrong at some point, either at the grower or during transport. He got bumped into and had the outer skin rubbed off the stalk, and it scarred, so it's not an issue for the plant anymore, but again, this mark is never going to go away. It doesn't make me love him less, because Sansevieria cylindrica is a really, really cool plant. I love these types of plants, but still, it's just going to be there, and a lot of people might think that that could be a pest or could be some pathogen or something like that, but this specific mark is just mechanical damage. So the great news is that your plant is going to be fine. If the damage is severe, like entire stalks broken off or crushed, you'll have to prune your plant probably. If you want, you can save the cuttings and root them up, but otherwise know that your plant will either scar or sprout back up, and it'll be fine. Thanks again for popping in to learn a bit more about plants. I hope you can recognize these little scars and bumps and bruises on your plants now and know they're no reason for concern. And to our community members, thank you so much for being a part of our mission to replant the world. 1 month of membership equals 1 tree planted. Y'all are awesome. Happy planting.